All right. All right. Hi, ladies. Well, welcome to our team call. Thanks for jumping in on a Monday. I won't usually make you guys do Mondays. Even with me having class on Monday nights, it's a little tough, but that's why we make sacrifices to make things work. But it is Monday, September 26th. This is our Passion Fit Dynasty call, joined with Nicole, Firefly Nation. What I kind of wanted to do tonight, I'm going to kind of keep this kind of casual for you guys since it is a Monday. I think we could all use that. I want to share with you guys about the leadership retreat. Actually, Nicole and I actually haven't even gotten to chat fully about it. I mean, we were texted, of course, for the whole thing. But, and you guys have probably seen a bunch of pictures come up. So I wanted to talk to you guys about my retreat experience, some nuggets that I've brought home. And moving forward, I obviously want to check in with you ladies about things that you guys are working on. Obviously, it's the end of the month, which means that if you haven't hit Success Club yet, we're probably also pushing. I know myself, I'm at Success Club 4. I'm pushing hard because I don't want to miss it. So close. But don't stress if you haven't yet, because it's absolutely still possible. So don't get too stressed out about that yet. So, I'm just going to jump right in and start talking about the leadership retreat. I will preface this by saying that I may have some tough love to share with you guys. And I want you to know that it's not personally directed at anyone on my team or on this call. I think it's just important to hear because I know that's, we got fed some of it, not because anybody's doing anything wrong, but because sometimes you just need to hear it. And, if there's a reason you're showing up on these calls and showing up on this team and plugging in every day, then, it's just important to, kind of digest that and think about that and it's good to self-evaluate. So I want to share some of those pieces that I learned with you guys. So I apologize. I don't have a lot of formal notes, so I'm just gonna wing it with y'all. So, first and foremost, I have to just tell you how incredible it is to be surrounded by Beachbody people. And Nicole knows this after going to Summit, how incredibly moving it is. And I don't think a retreat can compare to Summit necessarily, but there's something to be said about being intimately surrounded by incredibly successful leaders of our network. So Julie, you know of Rachel Khalil, and obviously you do too, Nicole. But Rachel is about 3 or 4 uplines up from me. She's kind of like your aunt, actually, Nicole. Yeah, she's kind of like your aunt. She's like my great 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 grandmother, and she's just even more great to you, Julie and Elizabeth, if you want to leave the lineage. So, but Rachel has been a coach for. I'm telling you, less than 2 years, and this woman is kicking ass as far as the money that she's making. It's insane. But before I share with you some of the numbers that she shared with us, there's something important that we all, I think, need to hear is that, comes from plugging in every single day and knowing your vision, knowing your why, which is something we've talked about, but I want to make that a continuing conversation in here, because the moment that you start to feel yourself drifting from your why is usually when life sets in, right? It's usually when we start to get stressed and start to feel overwhelmed and start to feel like, what's the point? We want to throw our hands and walk away because that's the easiest thing to do, right? But if you really want to make it in this business, if you really want to help people, you really want to make an income for yourself, it is absolutely 110% possible. The only thing standing in your way is you. And it's not your job. It's not your husband. It's not your kids. It's not that I don't have enough time. It's not that there aren't enough people out there for me to help. There aren't enough coaches that want to coach with me. It's none of that. You are the only thing holding yourself back. You have to truly believe that you will reach the success that you want in this business. And I had one of those moments for myself this weekend. I'm not even kidding you guys. I actually got emotional. I had to walk away after Rachel really showed. I cried all weekend, actually. We all did. Rachel showed us her actual income numbers, her progression from the time that she started as a coach until today. And after we were done with our little activity, she showed us all that, I went upstairs to shower, and guys, I took probably a 30-minute hot shower, and I cried because I was like, oh my God, I don't think I'll ever get there. Like I was like, I know I will one day because I have the belief, but I'm still scared of success. I'm still scared that I personally wouldn't be able to make it happen. And I think a lot of us in that room felt that way. And I'll be real with you because Rachel was real with us and sharing her numbers as well. If you guys really want to know, Rachel became a coach in January 2014. And by December 2014, she ended the year total making about $6,000. That was in 2014. From January 2015 to the end of December 2015, it was past December, I guess almost a year ago, she ended the year making $86,000.
Holy shit.
And so if you add her to the 2014, 2015 together, I apologize. I don't even think it was 6. I think it was she ended 2014 making about 15,000. So sorry, it was a little bit higher. She ended 2015 as totaling over 6 figures total in her business. So she became a 6-figure earner last December because she had already made over $100,000 total at that point since she started her business. Where she's at now, from January 2016 to September 2016, she has already made $106,000, and it's not the end of the year. And she is projected to make about $145,000 by December. Projected, maybe more. So, and here's the thing. Rachel is on Elizabeth Harkey's Strong Leg. So she gets a lot of volume and a lot of cycling from there. Rachel also has 2 strong coaches under her. I create a huge amount of volume for her. So Rachel has since then become incredibly obsessed with building her income and not rank. So she's become incredibly obsessed with volume and creating the most amount of volume she can have under herself, because that will create the most amount of income for yourself. And that is something that didn't really hit me until I stepped away from her numbers, because every time anybody asks me, what are you building for? Are you building for income or are you building from rank? Well, I would say, well, yeah, I'm building for income. Guys, I have been so damn stuck on diamond and well, frankly, like 2-star diamond, because I feel like I need that. I'm pushing to be, Nicole and I have said that one of our big goals was to be a new leadership conference in January, and you have to be 2-star diamond in order to get there. But all the while, I'm also still pushing for, I need big money. If I ever want to quit my job and really do this full time, I need money, right? Well, guys, Rachel is making that kind of money, and she's only a 2-star diamond. I thought that you would need to be like 5, 10 plus star diamond in order to see that kind of money. But and she only has, if you looked at her downline, 26 personally sponsored coaches in her downline. That's it.
What? That blows my mind.
Yep. I mean, of her personally sponsored.
Yeah.
She's got I should have wrote down the number. I can't remember if she said 300 or 3,000 in her downline. Probably 3,000 in her downline, in her actual.
Like coaches.
Yeah. That number that they show you in the little corner. Yeah. So that's where she gets her volume, because she gets so many cycle bonuses from her husband's account, from her account, and from all the coaches underneath her. So she gets wicked money. And if you guys follow her on Facebook, you would all know that she is paying off her student loans next month that she was projected to take 18 to 20 years to do. So I had to realize, so we coaches kind of came together because there's a lot of, I myself, and there's probably half and half of us, I'm on Danielle's left leg, her weak leg. So I don't get I get some volume from her, but I don't get a lot of volume from her. So I know that I have to do a lot of building on my own in order to really get there. And there's a lot of coaches on this Like, how the hell are we going to get there? Mainly, we all feel like we believe that we will get there one day. I don't think any of us will get there nearly as fast as Rachel did, because it is easy to say, oh, well, she got there because she was luckily placed on Elizabeth Hartke's strong leg. And I can't deny that part of me feels a little bit like that. But Rachel still showed up every single day, despite even missing months of Success Club in 2014, despite missing goals, despite missing Success Club All-Star. You know, she says that she still only hits about Success Club 6 every month. She's not like this Success Club 10 All-Star. She still does the basics every day. She plugs into her team. She shows up for team calls. She runs her team calls. She runs her team. She shows up for her leaders. And that just kind of was a big flooring moment for me. It was that in order to be successful in this business, it's not about having a fancy team page and logo and shirts, despite the fact that those are still on Nicole's and I and always will be. But it's about the fact that their businesses will go nowhere if we don't show up and do just the simple, basic activities every single day. And that's posting, that's drinking your shake, that's doing your workout, that's inviting, that's messaging, that's running monthly challenge groups, and it's constantly using your Facebook as your storefront of your business. I say Facebook, your social media. Your social media is your business. And that can be scary for so many of us, you know, to find that balance. I think Nicole and I are still always trying to find that perfect balance of posting and being in, because you really do have to be you and recognize that, you know, you are also portraying yourself as a health coach. And the coolest thing about this leadership retreat, Diamond Luxury Retreat, whatever, on our first night, we all got there. People were trickling in. We had dinner. We had wine. First of all, Nicole preaches, I learned that Beachbody coaches just do whatever the damn hell they want when they're together, because there was nothing but donuts, cheese, and wine. And Nicole, you probably would have died.
I know.
But oh my God. So anyways, we worked out. I guess that's about as healthy as we were that weekend. But the first night, Rachel had us all sit down. She passed out index cards to us, and she asked, who are you? And it's kind of funny because if you guys Elizabeth jumped on the call last week, but I apologize, my computer funked out, and I'll post the recording to share with you guys. But we talked about who are you and what makes you you. What foods do you like? What things do you like to do? You know, what places do you like to travel? Like all of this. And it was really awesome. And I sat there and I thought about it, and I got deep. We were doing some things that I hadn't necessarily shared before. And then Rachel collected all the cards, and then she randomly passed them back out, and we all had to read them out loud and then guess who each other's were. And on top of that, we had to say, are you actually portraying the things that you have on this card in social media? Because if you're not, then I hate to say it, but you're not being you. You're not being real. You're not being authentic. And you're not being the genuine you. And then we talked about there's certain things that some of us aren't ready to share yet. And that's, you know, some of the deep stuff that I listed that I haven't shared with you guys yet, which I will. It's one of those things that you don't just turn around and you don't just like put a big post about it one time, you know, like breadcrumb it through. Sorry, here we go. Sorry, Julie, I just muted you real quick because there was a lot of background noise. But about the importance of breadcrumbing and being yourself and really, you know, showing that and portraying that, you know, and I thought that was really cool because some people were truly spot on. And then when they got to me, everything was spot on except for these two things that I haven't shared. I have reasons why I haven't shared them, and I'm still not going to share them tomorrow. But it's one of those things that, you know, so Not that I'm not sharing that I don't like cheese pizza, because the Lord doesn't want to share that. I'm talking about like the, just the everyday. I'm a wife. I'm a dog mom. I'm a grad student. I struggle with self-doubt. I have a big family. All those kinds of things. So we don't have a ton of time to dig fully into that tonight because we did that on last week's call. So I'm going to encourage you guys to kind of please put a little mental note in your head to never stop thinking about that. We'll probably keep bringing that up, but I think that is so huge. And I think that's something that Nicole and I've spent a lot of time diving into this last 2 months, because you really have to know you. And I was saying this to someone else recently. I was like, you have to serve yourself first before you can serve anybody else in this business. And that goes for whether you're serving one of your coaches, your challengers, or trying to talk to somebody new. If you're not, you don't believe in yourself, if you don't have confidence in yourself, and this can go in any physical, mental, emotionally, whatever, feed yourself with that personal development and that piece that you need, because that's the only thing that will get you through. Okay, so we learned about Rachel's income. We learned about her growth, and we learned that, and actually the last plug I want to make about Rachel's income growth, I'm not here to just put Rachel on a pedestal, because I wouldn't be here if I still didn't believe that I could get there one day. I don't think it will take me 2 years. It might take me longer, and I'm totally fine with that, because hell, if it took me 5 years to build a 6-figure business, I'd be cool with that. I'd be fine with that. If I even made $50,000 in 1 year, that would be cool. But anyways, we talked about how when you sign up as a new coach, we often say, be here in a year. Say, be here in a year, because it takes time. And when the coaches and I really sat there and talked about it, I was like, you know what? I am here a year from now, but I'm still trying to figure my shit out. I still feel like I'm a mess. I still feel like I'm grasping for straws. So, this business is one of those things that takes time. And people get so easily frustrated when they don't see immediate results. And that goes for immediate results in your own workout program too. People give up after 21 days because they say, oh, I didn't hit my goal weight, so peace out. Or I got too hungry and ate over the container, so I didn't want to try anymore. Same thing with business. If you only give it like 3 months, 6 months, or even just a year, how do you know you're going to be the next year? I mean, Rachel could have said $15,000 wasn't enough money and said peace. I mean, I'm just saying, like, it's one of those, you have to trust the process, and you have to trust yourself and believe in yourself, but ultimately you have to want this. You have to want to be here enough to show up every day. Nicole can't make you, I can't make you, all of those things. So we talked about how be here for a year from now, but be here the year after too, and the year after, because it's easy, I think, Nicole and I talk about this all the time. It's easy for us to think that, wow, we have these little baby teams. We're not 5-star diamonds. We don't make $100,000 every year. It's easy for us to look at ourselves and feel like we're unsuccessful, and feel like we're not making the money that we want to make. We're not bringing in more money to pay our bills and mortgages and student loans and things that we wanted to, and that we promised our husbands that we would do one day. But that doesn't mean that next year, this time, that won't be different, And it's easy to look what's right in front of you and just take and think the proof is in the pudding. But that's the cool thing about Beachbody, is that I feel like it's giving me that opportunity to dream again. And some people might think that's lofty and crazy and not possible, but I truly believe it's possible. And it's frustrating because it's hard and it takes time and it pushes you so far out of your comfort zone, like cold inviting on a Monday night to somebody that I don't know. It scares the living shit out of me. But just trust me when I say be here a year from now. Surprise yourself, because one day you might be hosting a team call. There's 4 people on it, and that's okay, because a year ago, this time last year, I had no coaches. this time last year, I was lucky if I got a weekly paycheck from Beachbody, but I can promise you guys I was miserable in what I was doing, you know, and you just don't know where you'll be a year from now. So keep plugging. So that's my last 1 year thing. One thing that we also talked a lot about was we talked about bringing in new coaches. So I think I'm going to have a lot more information coming for you on this because Kelsey Smith talked a lot about this, which Nicole, you'll like to hear that Kelsey Smith is probably the most OCD type A person you will ever meet on this planet. That it scared the living shit out of me because I'm very type B, as you all know. Sometimes I'm last minute, sometimes I'm very unorganized a lot of times. I like to be structured and organized when I can, but I'm not 100%. Anyways, so she talked about some really awesome onboarding system for new coaches and training, so that'll be really helpful for all of us when we're bringing in new coaches to our teams. So I'm looking forward to getting some of that material to share with you guys. But one thing that really stuck with me, that I'm going to say this, and I don't want you guys to at all feel personally offended by this whatsoever, but I really want you to think about this when I say this, is that do not work harder than your coaches are willing to put in. And I thought about this, and I thought about all the coaches that I've worked to bring into this business, and how I thought, okay, this is my coach. This is the person that's going to run with me, and they really want this because they said that they wanted it on the call when I had my Getting Started Right call with me. They showed me their goals. They showed me their, whatever that paper is. What's it called? The Coach Action Plan paper. Sorry, I have Loretta and Julie's right here. And they did their about me, and they started their training, and and this is it, And I'm not saying this because I'm picking on anybody here, because I'm not. But I've learned that part of this business is that coaches will come and go. So you first of all need to accept the fact that some coaches are going to say all those things to you, and they might not show up, and they might not do anything, and that's okay because that is part of the business. Same goes for our challengers, okay? However, you can't put more belief and more work into your coach than they are going to invest in you. So what I mean by that is, I'm not telling you to don't do this. I need to think of a better word or way to say this, is that I guess I'll just give an example of constantly messaging and emailing and texting and calling your coach if they're not reaching back out to you. Or obsessively posting in your team page if your team doesn't show up. If your team's not showing up, why should you? That sounds awful. You should always show up. But I mean, it needs to be a reciprocal process. And, I guess if you guys aren't as familiar with Elizabeth Hartke style, and I guess in a way she lets her coaches come to her. If their coaches need something, they reach out, And I think Nicole and I have been trying to model this style of, not that we're hands off when we're sitting back here and we're like, oh, come to us when you need something. That's absolutely not the case, because we're always here. But it's not our job to chase you down and always be telling you what to do, because first of all, we don't want to be any kind of dictatorship here, but we can't work harder than you are willing to work. But if you have goals and you want to work on those goals, let me help you push you there. And show up by reaching out to me when you need that support and you need that challenge. I think we're all very different people here, but, last year when I was a new coach, Lord help me if I got through a week without texting Danielle like every day. I needed that support. I needed that, oh my God, I'm freaking the F out. I can't do this. My life is falling apart kind of text. You better believe that she responded to me, and she helped talk me down, and she got on the phone with me, and we worked things out. And that might not be your needs, and that's okay. I'm not saying that you need to have those kinds of needs that I did, but it's important to model that. Oh my God, Julie, did I see your face? Oh my God, does anybody just see Julie's face? I've never seen.
did.
Oh
There
my
she
God,
is.
hold on. I have to unmute you for a second. Holy crap. Oh my God, did it work?
Well, I wish it looked cuter right now. So, yes, I have been paying attention. Let me preface with that. But I have been trying to figure out, and I was starting to think that this camera didn't actually do anything because the green light is on every freaking time we have these calls. And then I started to think somebody was maybe watching me, which,
You're right.
right. So I had this little thing covering it because I was terrified somebody's like watching me sit here. I don't even know what I did. I have no idea what I did. I was like, literally, I just was in some random thing on my control panel, and then I X'd out of it because it didn't work, and then you said you could see my face. I don't know.
Oh my God, that's hysterical. So, Nicole, the backstory to this is that, I mean, Julie, you've been on this team for almost a full year now. We're getting close on that. She's been jumping on team calls for almost a full year, and this is the first time we have seen her face.
Well,
That's
I guess I have to
amazing.
stop like picking my nose and stuff. Like, shit.
Danielle and I was talking about, I talked a lot about how like we've been running team calls and Nicole and I've been doing all this stuff, and she was like, "Yeah, man, Julie just really needs to get that shit figured out." Danielle, like,
I have no idea what I did because I like literally pushed something in like the Zoom window and it kept saying that something else was like using my camera, but I have nothing else open. Like, I'm not doing anything else, so I'm like, I don't know what the hell.
oh
Well,
my God.
hopefully this is a new trend.
Yeah, I hope so. I love seeing your face. It's awesome. All right, good. Well, I didn't have too much more to say on that because I don't have the actual coaching and onboarding material that Kelsey was talking about. But basically, just to give you guys a glossing overview of what she talked about is that, and Nicole, you and I will probably want to replicate something like this as soon as possible. But she uses Streak, and Streak is this like Google app, and it's kind of like, I don't know, how would you describe it, Nicole? It's like,
I haven't looked much into Streak, but I'm guessing it's like Teamsy.
mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like a system for you to do your follow-ups and any posts to your team and like emails back and forth within like a system. All I can think about is at work. When I go into work for the day, I have these different tasks that I need to do, and it's kind of similar to that, right?
Yeah. So kind of, I think it gives you like reminders, but it also, I think, automatically sends out emails to people. So it doesn't send out like Facebook messages. I don't think it does that. It can give you reminders to follow up with certain individuals.
Yeah.
So she has this really cool, like literally her coach training is a 7-day thing and that's it. And I love it because it's short. So I know, Elizabeth, you might be going through your training, so this might be something, if we get it, we could implement it. I'll keep you updated about that, or I'll update Julie about that.
Okay.
Oh.
But anyway, but in her system, and when she was talking about all of this, and there was all these spreadsheets and all these like emails in her system, and I was like, oh my god. But she said something like, depending on the coach's pace, if they were, because at the end of every, kind of similar to the training style that we have right now, is that like, I've sent an email and then you have to respond because you have a homework assignment. Well, similarly with Kelsey's system, she mentioned that based on the coach's response time, I guess, like the turnaround, she would basically rate these coaches, I don't know, like a 1, 2, or 3 or whatever, basically. And, if they were a 1, I mean, they responded either within a day or with a whatever allotted time frame. And, if they never responded, then she was like, well, it's not that I'm abandoning this coach, but I'm not going to put any time and effort into this person if they're not willing to show up for me. And that sounds harsh and that sounds awful. And you guys have to understand that same goes for your challengers. We can only do so much. And that doesn't mean that you can't ever follow up with them, or can't ever like include them in things. But it's important to recognize your priorities and where you're spending your activities. Something Nicole and I say to ourselves all the time is that you can't put all your eggs in one basket. And that goes for coaches too. Especially when you're building towards diamond and then some, which a lot of us are, or rebuilding and then some. or working towards them. Well, it doesn't matter. You can't put all your eggs in one basket. I know that sounds awful because we want to believe that our coaches are going to take this and run with this. Don't ever stop believing that. However, like I said, there is a rate of attrition in this business, and you have to focus on what you can control. And you're the only person you can control. You can't control your other coaches. So I know this sounds really negative. I'm not trying to make this sound super negative at all, but God, what was my last point about all that? Just essentially like focusing on what you can control and putting the effort in because where it needs to go. Like I would hate to see any of us chasing after a coach that doesn't really want it, instead of placing your coaches with your attention and energy with coaches that really want this and really need you, can really benefit from that. So that's kind of what we mean by that. So, and the same goes for your challengers too. So if you see challengers that are showing up and kicking ass every day, love the shit out of them and definitely ask them to be a coach. We have to praise where, praise is necessary. So that, in a nutshell, you guys, is my big takeaways from this weekend. And the fact that I'm hella sore because if you guys, I don't think you have seen all the pictures, but we did beach Olympics and there's a lot of sprinting. And guys, I literally still can't move. Like literally, we played games like dizzy bat, and I can't move. So that shows you how fit I am right now. Another thing to keep in mind, kind of another announcement piece, which if you guys haven't seen already, maybe you've heard some buzzing, but I learned a little bit more about it. But there's the new program that's coming out. It's called Core de Force. Is that right? Okay. Yeah. I always get confused. Core de Force is coming out November 1st. And why I want to talk about that a little bit is because Rachel really instilled the fact that we should really be almost hyper-focused about getting excited about this program. And Rachel has even said that I'm sure she would even let, my downline and us kind of be a part of this too, about running a team-wide sneak peek group. And for us to get, so what that would mean is that if we do this in November or start running an actual challenge group, mid-November so if a team-wide, if we did a pure coaches, not challengers, coaches sneak peek in Core de Force, and we whip our asses into shape and really commit, all of us say, okay, you know what? We're not going to do a drop of alcohol for 30 days. We're going to be so serious, and we get sick results. We do that in November, and then December we roll in and do our Core de Force challenge group, get people really excited. Think about what that will do, not only for that challenge group, but then for January, for New Year's resolutions, for the people that have watched you not only get kick-ass results in November, help people in December, help people in January. And it's not something, honestly, Nicole, it wasn't even something I was thinking about. I didn't even have that on my radar. And I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. I know we only have a few minutes coming up here. Our time's ticking. But just a little bit of nugget. So I don't know if you guys know about or if you follow Liz Hartke, but I was invited to her Leadership Level Up group this month. And one of the huge topics that I've struggled with, I know Claire and I have had many conversations about this, is inviting people. So inviting people to those test groups that Claire just mentioned. I've always struggled with that because I don't want to come off as being a nag or that I'm only reaching out for that reason. But one of the nuggets that I've learned in this leadership group is that if you don't share this opportunity, the workout opportunity, not even the coaching opportunity, with somebody else, you're doing them a disservice. So think about it that way. There are people out there that need this, that need support, that need accountability, that need us to reach out to them and share these programs with them, and they're too afraid to reach out to us. So think about that when you're thinking about this upcoming new group. I recently have completely shifted my mindset. And if I'm being honest, Claire turned me on to Country Heat because I was kind of not interested. That I don't dance. Well, I try, but I don't do very well. Mm-hmm. So I've completely shifted my mindset and started inviting people to do Country Heat with me on 10-1. And I can't tell you, I've gotten a ton of no's. Mm-hmm. Uncomfortable, but it's happened. I literally have 6 people doing it with me. those 6 people would have,
Crazy.
it's insanity. Like, you have to shift your mindset. You have to share this opportunity. Don't overwhelm people. Don't give them, don't send them a message and say it's $140 to do it for 30 days.
Right.
Don't start with cost. Start with value. Reach out to them and say, I've kept it simple. I've said, hey, I don't know if you saw my post last week. I'm starting this new workout program. I gave it a whirl last week. It's actually really effective. I get a really good sweat, and it's a lot of fun. I'm starting a new group on 10/1. What do you think about joining me? No pressure. Let me know. I just thought you might be interested. Simple, to the point. I want you to work out with me. Honestly, a lot of times they've responded and said, can I have some more information? And then it's either, okay, I'm interested, or not right now, but maybe in a couple of months. No one's come back and been like, I'm offended, don't talk to me ever again.
Yeah.
You're rude.
Yeah.
So just something to keep in mind when you're thinking about these upcoming groups. It's new. If you show that it works and you try it yourself, there's going to be in October a sneak peek of Core de Force. If you guys have Beachbody On Demand, there's going to be, they haven't released the date yet, but they're going to release it for a day.
Right.
We can all try it. We can videotape ourselves and post that on our page and say, who wants to do this with me? I'm going to be setting up a test group, and I just want to kind of gauge interest, right? Like, give this post a like if you're interested, if you think it might be something you might like. And then that starts your leads for when you do the test group, right? So just try to get comfortable with that. I know it's not easy, and it's taken me 16 months to get to this place.
See, this is why we need more than 1 year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So just wanted to share that nugget because it tied in really nicely with that piece.
Can you, if you have that script, can you share that with me and I'll post it in our team?
Yeah, of
Great.
course.
Yay. Well, I know we're wrapping up, guys. There's a few more announcements that I have, like about, I think Nicole and I are still going to do a free group that we'll open up to the full team. Just might not be the first week, so I'm going to have an announcement about that. But our next week's team call will still be the regular time of Tuesday at 8:30. Anything else, Tanya or Nicole?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, as you can see, like, I've completely turned a corner. I get so fired up about inviting now.
Mm-hmm.
And before I used to want to crawl in a hole and die.
Yep. I think I'm at the same place with you too, like feeling so much better. So I will share that script with you ladies. And honestly, as I get more information about the documents and resources, I'll be sharing that too, because we definitely have some work to do and I'm really excited for it. So Nicole and I will try to do our end of trying to rework it to share it down to you guys. So all right, ladies. Well, that's it. Hope you guys have a great night. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll talk to you guys soon, okay?
You too. Bye.
Bye. Bye.